Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers and this is Annie255, and we're actually ready to start on our Module 5 course assignment, modeling the interior warehouse scene. So very simple modeling here. I went online and found a fire hose attachment. So that's separated, very simple construction. Go out and look for one. They're usually a little smaller than that, but I made a little bit longer. And then you've got the handle, the on and off handle, which we're going to animate. So make sure that all it is cubes and cylinders. That's it. And when we animate it, we're going to animate it from this position to that position full on. Okay. That'll be off, and then we'll animate on, and then the water will come out. We've got a hose that we'll never really see that much, maybe from this angle here like that. Okay, right? So basically just extrude, get that shape, something like that. Make sure you have an area in here inside that you guys can put your emitter. We're going to be using a directional emitter for this simulation. And I just use cubes that I flattened out for the floor, cubes to flatten out for the walls, and for the ceiling. So we have two walls, a ceiling, and a floor. Okay? And the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to have to create cubes. And I'll show you the scale in just a minute here. We'll talk about scale. So I'm going to go ahead and show my grid. I think my grid is showing. Let's go ahead and in here and hit the 4 key. There's the grid. So I'm in centimeters. This is a default grid. I made the floor the exact same size of the default grid. Okay, and then the boxes are about a little over 2 feet by 2 feet by 2 feet. Okay, so you can see each grid unit is 1 foot here. Okay, even though we're in centimeters. Now we're working in centimeters, but I look at these grids as 1 foot. Okay. Alright, so each one of these boxes are roughly, I didn't sit there and measure, but they're roughly about 2 feet by 2 feet, okay? Very close, alright? Alright, so that's the scale. And the walls, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units tall. And the grid should be 24 by 24 grids. Okay. Alright, and these are each 2 by 2, and then you can go from there. The head of this thing's about 2.5, almost 3 feet long. Okay, which is huge, but that's okay. Alright, so that's what I've got. Alright, so you'll have to, in the assignment, you'll have to, and I'll have an example of my textures. You can jump to the end if you want to see what I did for texturing. But for just getting the simulation going and starting my videos, I went ahead and did not texture this, but I do want you to texture yours. And if you don't, and you do a material, because you're running out of time, it will be 4 points off. So just make sure you're aware of that. I want to give those points to students that go above and beyond, and I think texturing your scene is commendable, and I want you to do that. So those of you that don't, it'll be 4 points off, but at the very least I want you to add materials. Okay? Alright, so that just makes it easier for me to see your scene, because if I click off of this, and if I don't have my wireframe on, shaded on, it's hard to see stuff. It really is. It's tough to see. So it's difficult to see what's going on in your, because when we do play blasts, it's really hard to see what's going on. Okay? Alright, so those of you that just give me stuff like this with no color, let me show you. At the very least, open the scene. Let's go to materials. I created a scene with at least materials on it, and there we go. And so this is just with the materials on. So I've got kind of a brownish gray on the floor. The walls are easy to see, and I got contrast between the walls and the boxes, and the ceiling is white. Okay, so the reason why I do double-sided objects and not use flat planes is because Dynamics tends to collide better with the solid objects. Okay, so keep that in mind. Alright, so that's the construction, the modeling, and what I expect at the very least from you guys. If you don't texture, you still get 4 points off. But this will really help me see your scene. Just adding materials will be very helpful. And make sure you at least do that. Right. So with that said, that's the modeling part. Hopefully, if you have any questions about anything, let me know. And please keep in mind that texturing is worth 4 points. Texturing the whole entire scene, and then adding, if you don't add any materials at all, no box materials, no Lambert materials, no different colors in here like I have here, like I'm showing you here, that'll be 6 points off. Just want to make sure that's clear. Alright, so you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video where we're actually going to start working on the water particle simulation first. Okay? Fantastic. I'll see you guys then.